Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds by nerds, I'm Nerdarchist Ryan, and today I'm joined by
Nate.
Dave.
And so we have a viewer request from Nicholas Hengsler, and he's basically talking about having a party that effectively has no warriors in it, and how to have them not be slain by like goblins and other low-level monsters at the low levels.
Well, he specifically too said about bad party compositions.
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean, he listed off what he had, and it's like it's not the iconic arrangement of what you'd have.
Yeah, we've talked about party composition previously, and I kind of feel like that's not the issue. In the end, you can't throw the same types of things at them and expect it to just bounce off them. Like, oh, 40 hit points of damage. Sure, I'll take half of that because I'm raging. You know, they don't have that option. So when they get hit with a tremendous amount of damage, they might fall down.
Yeah.
So there's two aspects of this. One is the players can't act like they're an iconic party. Two, the DM isn't tailoring the adventures to the party if the lack of warriors is a problem. Because, well, for one too, like, I also feel like depending on your party composition would determine the kind of adventures you present to your players, not because they lack a certain thing, but because, wizards or rogues are just going to be interested in different things. They're going to have different things they want to pursue.
And different tactics and things like that too in the game. Like, I would almost see this as like more of a SWAT team, because they're all like very specialized sort of characters, versus like infantry, army infantry that's just gonna like roll through a line or whatever. So these are like, you want to do like almost like Green Beret, like reconnaissance sort of adventures where they're gonna have to investigate things and figure things out. They're not gonna go and make the problems into a nail and they're the hammer.
Yeah, I would say that you're also going to get a lot of, they're going to want to set up. Like, they're going to be thinking about it, they're always going to be at a disadvantage when you bring some big bad in that's going to hammer them. So as much as they can, they're going to want strategy wise to set up an attack. Like, oh, here's this guy's camp, we're going to surround them, and then we're going to all attack. I'm going to drop a fireball, and everybody's going to run in and like shoot from the woods and stuff and get sneak attacks and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I see as being that kind of, they're going to want to jump on whatever they fight. And that's going to be probably their like go-to strategy, I would say.
Well, especially because they're not going to be heavily armored, so they're not going to be as clanky. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so like they should have that element of surprise and stealth.
Yeah, and I would also see if a big bad does get the drop on them, I would think that it would be appropriate for them to spread and like split up and kind of like get out of the way of it, rather than like it's going to be constantly chasing them and trying to attack them, rather than a stand-up fight where it's like I punch you, you punch me, I punch you. Like I don't see that happening as much.
It's really hard to say too, because based off of his specific request or question, not knowing the actual party composition.
I mean, we do have the composition. I think it's like a rogue, a druid.
Yeah, it has a good amount of rogues. It has a wizard. It's got a druid. Druid's like the beefiest person
In the party.
And well, the rogue's got D8 now, so
yeah. A second level druid, Circle of the Moon, early levels, he can tank the shit out of stuff, and low level monsters aren't going to be that big a deal.
I don't know if he's Circle of the Moon or Circle of the Land.
Okay.
So if he's Circle of the Land, he's more like a wizard instead of a tank. So that would be pretty much, that's the tank character if it's Circle of the Moon. So, but they didn't get specific on that. So
because one of the abilities of the Circle of the Moon has is, as a bonus action, every round you can just burn spells that keep healing your animal form, which will keep you tankier longer.
And you can choose something like Boar, which has that ability that if it gets knocked to 0 hit points, it's like the half orc, but it's for the animal.
Yeah, it can get back up. It's kind of specific, but yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's definitely some tanking ability.
It takes a whole bunch of damage. It can just still be at 1 rather than you be out of wild shape.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying, the board doesn't work the way the half orc works. It's different.
Oh, it is.
It's not as good.
Oh,
it's like a lesser form of it. It's still kind of cool, but there's like a hit point cap or something.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
But it's still kind of cool. So the Druid Circle of the Moon can actually act as your tank. Depending on what the other classes are, they can kind of bolster the front line through control.
Lots of artillery.
Yeah, lots of getting behind something and firing.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, tactics-wise, they're always going to be looking for cover, probably.
Yeah, I
like
think
unless
so.
your rogue is going to be a melee rogue. Yeah.
Looking for cover, looking for bottlenecks. Maybe if they have casters, they can create the bottlenecks.
Yeah, well, cloud of daggers and other things that short. If it's a 15-foot hallway and you want to make it so it's a 5-foot space, they're coming through.
Yeah.
That.
Well, that really works too. If the maybe Circle of the Moon Druid, if you can choose forms that have like a shove attack as a part of their attack into like
thunder waving and thunder waves and shove attacks
into your said cloud of daggers, to maximize that damage output.
So, like, I'm thinking about like party compositions, and I'm thinking about like, so sometimes like inadvertently when this happens, there can also end up being like a theme. Like maybe the party tends to be more scholarly, or maybe the party tends to be more stealthy. And, with those compositions, I feel like you're going to tell a different kind of story. Because of what those characters would be after and would be pursuing. So that's another way to work around, I don't have X at the party. Well, it's not as a big a deal because this party is going to do something different. Like you said, if they're more of a commando type party,
Meaning they're not wearing underpants.
Yes, not wearing underpants.
Yeah.
They're gonna be doing different things. They're gonna have different kinds of quests and missions that they're gonna go on. But because you have these like highly specialized skills, where when you have the iconic party, you do have highly specialized skill, but they're dispersed amongst different specialties. If you have a party that has the same specialty, or they all share a specialty, what happens is like that becomes a reoccurring theme in a lot of your adventures, I would think.
And like, say if they do like a mercenary type of thing, if somebody's aware, like these are the best people that do this thing, and I need a really good team to do it, then they're going to be the people that get hired, like the A team sort of doing that.
Or the B team, as the case may be.
And the B team. So if they've already had an adventure or two where they, it gets around that they've escaped by sneaking out or they escaped by subterfuge, then that can be like another tick on their kind of like, oh well, I'm looking, like you said, you're looking for adventurers.
Adventuring
this group
resumes.
already survived this crazy thing by like sneaking away with an object or something.
Well, like, all right, for instance, right?
So
like,
rumors could have the type of people looking for specialists heading their way.
Like, say you have a bard, a monk, a ranger, a rogue, and a druid.
No ranger though.
What's that?
No ranger.
Why not a ranger?
Well, to go with this, there's like absolutely no warriors.
Well, yeah. I'm not talking about a specific one. I'm just saying, like, that's a party composition. A ranger makes a horrible tank as far as tanks go.
Yeah.
Because they tend to have the lower armor class anyway. But what that composition actually gives you is a party that could be very good at stealth.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could do the urban. You could do the urban campaign, where where they're basically doing the rogues thing, where they're sneaking in, stealing things. What I would call the thief campaign, which, in 5th edition, it's so much easier to do than previous editions. Like before, you really did need, specific classes, but now
With the backgrounds.
with the backgrounds and the different crossovers, you can actually branch out a lot. So, I actually don't believe in bad party composition. If people are playing what they want to play, it doesn't matter.
That's what I was referencing our other video on party composition. Is like, the conclusion I feel like was that there's no bad party composition. It's just how do you want to play the game.
Yeah, so everyone just needs to be playing what they want to play, and as the DM have to figure it out. That doesn't mean kid gloves. Like, you can throw the things you might normally throw at them, and then it's up to them to use wise tactics
Or run. Maybe sometimes it's just being
run
fleet
is a
of foot.
tactic.
Just being fleet of foot is a thing. Yeah.
And there's from the DM angle, you also have the idea of, well, if they're low level plus low hit points, you have the idea of you can control what happens in the battle by, you don't have to give the guy the standard amount of hit points. You can make it lower mid battle if you need to. And it's like, oh yeah, he's got one hit die less worth of hit points, and so the next swing should drop him. So that'll be like one less attack against the party. Or you can say, well, I was going to plan a second wave of guys, but now I'm not going to do that. They didn't hear that noise, or they didn't exist. So when a fight breaks out in a bar, well, the constable's taking a nap, that's supposed to be on duty, so he didn't call in extra people to come fight. Or the crime boss that you were going to have minions come out. Well, he's actually not there, so his bodyguards aren't there either. So this is just going to be just one more bar that gets a tavern brawl in it, and then you guys live through the tavern brawl. No one comes out with sharp knives trying to stab you because the crime boss isn't there. So you can kind of like alter what the encounter is going to be, or what you've got in your mind as the encounter, because it's not a video game. You can make decisions on the fly. It's not like you programmed yourself to say, okay, this second wave now must happen, but it will murder everyone. So based on how the combat's going, you can kind of alter it without anybody knowing, except you.
Yeah, like if you cheat as the GM, just don't tell your players, and they'll be none the wiser, and they'll still enjoy playing the game. Yeah. Cheat in their favor.
There's that absolutely works, because part of the question was survivability with the monsters. You could use less of them, of the monsters. I would highly recommend foreshadowing in a way to let the players know. You want to clue them in that they shouldn't just try and do every fight as a stand-up fight. You can do that through foreshadowing, or you can just have a conversation with them at some point. But like, look, you guys don't have a tank. You don't have someone who's going to absorb
You have to play
damage.
smart. You have to play smarter, not harder. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Because even the druid tanking, the downside to that is they don't have a good armor class.
Yeah. Well, and then you also, I don't remember if there was a healer in the party, but it didn't really sound like it. So your druid's kind of filling in that healer role too. So like if he's burning all of his spells to like heal himself in animal form,
I think that
he's
might
not.
be a bard, but
he
might not take care.
Yeah. Because like you need somebody to put the party back together again a little bit after some of the scrapes too.
And that can be done through someone if you don't. You can have someone take the healer feat.
Or you could just
that's a good sub in after battle when you need to get people back up.
Throw in like a magic item that gives them a healing, like maybe X times a day or something like that, like 3 times a day it can do a thing. Like give them an idol that will like let them heal a few times a day.
Yeah, that could be something they find along the way. So there's a few things to mitigate their weaknesses, but you don't want to just get rid of them.
No, I wouldn't do that at all.
No, not wholesale.
No.
Forget that. You have to punish them for their choices as well as reward them.
Yeah. So there's going to be things that they excel in. Try and give them more things that they're going to excel in. But then, also make it realistic. When a whole bunch of guards show up because you stole something, you're not going to fight those guards unless they're sissies. Unless they're all...
They're heavily armored and have sharp, pointy things.
Yeah.
And they're going to surround you.
And they've got them drawn and they're ready for a fight.
Yeah, I mean, you could also put them in the party in a situation where they have to surrender. Just in general, there could be just unwinnable, the numbers are there.
Surrendering could just be they get beat down and then get stabilized and they wake up in jail.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, it becomes a prison break game.
Yeah.
For a couple of sessions.
Which those types of characters would be good for. So they've got a nice sneakiness.
You got a druid that can turn into a damn mouse and just, wander around and find the keys.
Even the Circle of the Land druid can turn into a mouse. So.
Yeah, and some delicious cheese.
So as a recap, right? Weaken your monsters, less monsters, foreshadowing so they know what they should is what's expected. It's not expected.
Battle control with a second wave if it's necessary to keep a good fight.
Play the strengths and weaknesses.
Play the strength and weaknesses. Players have to realize what their characters are capable of as a party and use good tactics. And and then just tailoring your adventures to make sense for that party.
Yeah. I mean that sums it up.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So if you feel we missed anything, or if you have anything else to add, you can like, comment, or subscribe down below.
You can tweet at us at Nerdarchy at Twitter.
You can also join the conversation over on Reddit.
Until next time.
Stay nerdy. There's two aspects of this. One is the players can't act like they're an iconic party. 2, the DM isn't tailoring the adventures to the party if the lack of warriors is a problem. Because for one too, like I also feel like depending on your party composition would determine the kind of adventures you present to your players, not because they lack a certain thing, but because wizards or rogues are just going to be interested in different things. They're going to have different things they want to pursue.
And different tactics and things like that too in the game. Like, I would almost.
party composition previously, and I kind of feel like that's not the issue. In the end, you can't throw the same types of things at them and expect it to just bounce off them. Like, oh, 40 hit points of damage. Sure, I'll take half of that because I'm raging. You know, they don't have that option. So when they get hit with a tremendous amount of damage, they might fall down.
Yeah.
So there's two.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds by nerds, I'm Nerdarchist Ryan, and today I'm joined by
Nate.
Dave.
And so we have a viewer request from Nicholas Hengsler, and he's basically talking about having a party that effectively has no warriors in it, and how to have them not be slain by like goblins and other low-level monsters at the low levels.
Well, he specifically too said about bad party compositions.
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean, he listed off what he had, and it's like it's not the iconic arrangement of what you have.
We've talked about